Thank you for all those great questions that you put forward. So here we go. I want to begin with Nikki and with Gareth, though, with a question of my own, okay? And just to give you some background, so Nikki and Gareth, you've come to the festival, you for the first time, Nikki. Gareth, this is your 5th season. You've grown and grown in your work, and so tell us all a little bit about yourself. Why don't you begin, Nikki? Tell us a bit about yourself.
First and foremost, I'm an American, so I'm really excited to be in Canada this year at the Stratford Festival, which is a big deal here in Canada, but also in the States. We hear a lot about it, and I felt really honored to be invited to come up here to do this show. I have to say I was a little intimidated because the reputation is pretty huge. But I've been performing for as long as I can remember, and I started mostly doing musicals, which is where my heart lies. And I attended New York University at NYU, in NYU in New York City, and I studied drama there, graduated in 2003. And I've been working pretty steadily since then.
Great.
And so...
Well, I've seen Nikki on stage, and she is fantastic. I found you so touching, and also saw your audition for Juliet, and it was very memorable.
Thanks.
Yeah, touched my heart. So you're going to kill me when you actually do the show. So Gareth, tell us, where did you come from?
Name's Gareth Potter, and I am from the Laurentians in Quebec, which is just north of Montreal. And this is my 5th season here, and I played a lot of sports when I was a kid, and I think that was it influenced a lot why I'm an actor, because team sports and being involved with other people. And when it was time to leave high school, my drama teacher said, "Hey, you're pretty good at this drama thing, you should audition for drama school." So I went to John Abbott College in Montreal for 3 years, and then I went to the National Theatre School immediately following that for 3 years there and did the acting program. And then the year after I finished, I auditioned for the Birmingham Conservatory here at the Stratford Festival, and I got in. And the year before, I came to see Christopher Plummer in King Lear, and I saw the Scarlet Pimpernel, and I saw Henry VI, and I brought my fishing rod, and I had this ideal that Stratford was a place where I could go fishing and do Shakespeare, and I buried my fishing rod in the festival garden outside. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you.
No, you shouldn't be telling us this.
Bit of a secret. Anyway, so I buried my fishing rod and I said, I'm going to come back and get that fishing rod next year. And then lo and behold, the next fall I was back here and I dug up the garden, but I think the gardener had already got the fishing rod.
Taking you I had a feeling.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Just so our viewers know, Gareth was one of those graduates that we all knew about as he was coming out, and so he was a hot catch in the sense that he was one of the most talented people in his class. And as I've watched him grow in his work over the years, I'm so pleased that he's had this opportunity to do this part. It's so well deserved, and it's great to see that growth. All right, let's take some of the questions here from our viewers. All right. Here's a good one to start with. A personal question. What's the secret to creating great onstage chemistry, guys, in romantic roles like Romeo and Juliet? How do you do it?
Well, it helps if your co-star is devastatingly handsome, which he is.
And beautiful.
Right, thank you. That was my way of getting another compliment. But I think I think chemistry is about trust, especially in a role like this. And when you trust someone, you can go anywhere with each other. And I think we're really developing a really cool bond, a really great bond. And the writing is great, so it's sort of built in. What do you think?
I was going to pretty much say trust and Listerine. I think Listerine.
Yeah, that might help the chemistry. Yes, you're right.
No, but I think trust is very important too. And it's a great thing that we have here at Stratford Festival, that we have a rehearsal process that is spread out over quite a long time, where some of the regional theatres, you don't get as much rehearsal time. Whereas here, there's a chance for me and Nikki and the rest of the company really to form this sense of trust and a great healthy working environment where everybody can feel safe in the rehearsal hall before we hit the stage in front of 1,800 people.
You know, speaking as a former Romeo, I usually the lead parts in Shakespeare are for older people, right? Usually, like you're carrying the show. You're the heart of the show, and so when you get two actors in their middle age together, or older than you are, that's one thing. They've done a lot of shows. But usually for Romeo and Juliet, this is their first big assignment, and they're going through this together. I mean, this is an enormous growth opportunity for both of them, and you're sharing that. So I guess that would build chemistry and trust, because you're holding on to each other, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And we had a rehearsal earlier today where we just the two of us with our assistant director, and really started to work through some things and talk about how we're feeling, and we just realized we only have 4 scenes together in the course of this show. It's 4 scenes where we're really together, and they're exquisitely crafted, but there's something about, they're really special, each one, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
But one of those scenes is over 20 minutes long. So.
Did we do that one today? It's a long scene.
So listen, Gareth and Nikki, someone asked, how are you influenced by other productions on screen or in the theater of Romeo and Juliet? Have you watched other productions?
Yeah, I've seen the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet,
Right.
the Zeffirelli Romeo and Juliet, which are both beautiful aesthetically for different reasons, and the acting is different, both styles. Love them. In terms of the play, I mean, this is the first time I've ever been in Romeo and Juliet, and I had never seen it before. I've seen Antoni's, the CBC version, I have one, but I had never seen another version except when I was in Paris 2 years ago. I saw it in French, and that was the only live experience I've had with Romeo and Juliet, and I came away with a real visceral, physical understanding of the play through that, because my French is good, but not that good, so a lot of the physical kind of heat of Verona, I took away from watching that play.
Thanks. Nikki?
I was in love with the Baz Luhrmann version, and I won't say how old I was when it came out, but I was, young enough that I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was gorgeous. I watched it a lot. And so until I became an older person, that's my only real experience with it. I think we read it in 8th grade. But this past summer, they did Romeo and Juliet in the park, in Central Park. They do outdoor Shakespeare every year. It's free for everyone. It's a really phenomenal experience, and they usually get really talented actors. And it was a few weeks before I even got the call to audition for it. And the production was spectacular, and there was something really exciting about being outside and being able to see the trees behind them, and it was really beautiful. And I have to say, when I got the invitation to audition for it, I was totally intimidated by the performance I'd seen. Lauren Ambrose, who's a film actor, played Juliet, and she was beautiful and fantastic. So you use them as a reference point. It's really great research to see what other people do. To answer your question more specifically, I think that once you get into a rehearsal room with a real person, a co-star and a director and a cast and a set, it's really difficult for you to be really influenced by those ideas, other than just maybe feelings, or it doesn't really get that deep into your head, because you're doing a very specific thing here. So I think it's great to see them, though, and to see what other people have done, so
Right.
you can have an idea of where you fit in there.